Naruto 627 viewer comments. I appreciate everyone's work. It's the comments do literally get better every week. And Kishimoto, of course, for making a great manga like Naruto that we all have something to talk about. All right, let's go ahead and get started off. Just one top-rated comment this week. Chaz Malakian, no surprise. I can't say anything else about this chapter except that it's epic. Loved every page of it. Story, comedy, character development-wise. I'm curious about Minato's gift for Naruto. Yes, a lot of people, is it going to be the other half of, right, the Nine Tails, the yin part? Is it going to be that? Are they going to be reunited? We're going to have the full yin and yang, Nine Tails. Is that what it's going to be? And he could, and think of it, we were just in the place to summon, right, with the mask and everything, to summon the Death God. It was just done. We've already seen it if you sacrifice something. So if you're an Edo, is it possible he calls the Death God, sacrifices himself because he'll just regenerate, right? Minato, he's an Edo, and pull out the yin part out of the Death God, reunited, and then he just, of course, regenerates. That's a possibility. Is there something that I'm leaving out here? Because it seems like it's very possible. And continuing on, and Ochimaru's real intent. Oh yeah, come on, we know Ochimaru. He's up to something. Yeah, he is. And Sasuke did have a change of heart? Question mark. I don't think so. I just think he's trying to take out the strongest foe to make his move later. There's a lot more coming, and I expect more than a year of Naruto. Good review, and keep up the good work. Appreciate it as always. Great job on your part. Once again, voted up. That was awesome. Yes, could be, maybe, the time-wise, I guess from what he said, if it means anything, something like a year, somewhere in that. Everything you've said so far makes sense. That's why it was voted up. All right, I'm going to let that stand, because this was pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and get rolling here. Really do appreciate the comments. Okay, let's go ahead and start random, starting from the top, right? Random order, really. Okay, Funkador 92832. Hey, Rampage, please read. Okay, and he's talking about an anime called Hakuouki. It's about Japanese history. You say it's pretty good. That's something I may look at. What I would say is when I put on one of my anime of the weeks, put that as a suggestion to remind me, okay, that's something I may want to take a look at, because that's really that's where I would take a look at that. That's where I would do that, and that should be around Tuesday. I've actually been pretty good about making those Tuesday. I think I've only missed 1 week, but anyway, yeah, the next one I think is episode 6. So if you want to put that in there, to remind me, really would appreciate it. Okay, moving on. Let's see, Funkador 92832 on Naruto. Sasuke is not going good. I think of him and Ochimaru said something to each other, or somehow saying like in code, let's help, then let's get the F out of here, and we will take over the village later, because if we get caught, they will F up the Madara spell. Okay, actually, could very well be. How much they work together, that is another thing, because they did work together, right? He was training Sasuke, Uchimaru, for a long time, so they're familiar enough. So, appreciate the comment. Moving on. Okay, I made this because you're stupid. Great review, Mr. Rampage. Appreciate the positive there. Question for you, sir. Ninja Alliance, now 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th Hokage, and Sasuke and Uchimaru versus Obito Madara. That's the way it looks. Do you think the bad side still has some teammates? It's a very good question. Or is it only those two to face the good guys? Well, there's, of course, the Jubi, even the messed up looking Jubi, whatever. But, I'm saying that there's probably more participants coming out from Ochimaru, but does Madara have? I mean, I can't help. Madara's a genius. I can't help but think that he may. What you're bringing up is something that we don't really talk about, and just to quickly think about it, I wouldn't doubt that he has some backup plans, and that may mean some characters of his own. I also, okay, he's controlling himself. He may actually create some more Itos of his own. If he's this familiar with, which he is, because he was able to take it over, he may actually do it himself. I think that's a possibility. So you're bringing up a pretty good deal. Who else are they going to call on? Who else? That's good. Unfortunately, I don't have very good answers for you. All right, really do appreciate the comments, though. Okay. Zaki Ali. Obito's going to piss in his pants. Okay, this just reminds me of the whole thing which we're all looking for, right? Is the whole, which a lot of people mention. I mean, the whole we've got to the point where the conversations are right up there with the action, because Obito and Minato is wow. Who can imagine this conversation? Oh, yeah, that's it. I've already mentioned that. I believe I mentioned that in the review, actually. That's yeah. I think that's minimal. Minato's not going to be too happy. Tried to kill my son, wife, me, the village, Obito. All right. Well, anyway, and I hope Toby Rama isn't there, because he's gonna. Well, anyway, I want to get into that whole thing after we have to kind of smoothed over that whole thing there. But I guess I just kind of brought it up again, didn't I? Okay. And Trenthlow Manga, in regards to the last post about Sasuke, Oru will fail in stealing Sasuke's body. I hope he does. Like I said, I'm on record. I hope he does. It's going to be awesome if he can do it. And then causes Sasuke to return good. Retrieve Yamato, right? We kind of forgot about him. Steal his body. Obtain a set of Uchiha eyes if he doesn't already have a set. To obtain power just shy of Sage's sixth path, causing Sasuke and Naruto to save the world. That sounds good to me. And continues on. Oro is lying in wait for, and I realize a lot of these don't get read in order, but it's kind of just the way they go. As for Sasuke, I hope to somehow reverts, if he's now good, back to the dark side. Then nearing the conclusion of the series, he joins Naruto and Madara. Could possibly be Sasuke's pivotal factor during or just after the war. What if Oro knows Sasuke and Naruto are next in line to achieve Sage of Sixth Power? Remember how Oro always compared Naruto to Sasuke or vice versa when he was around either one of them, but Rampage, your theory about Oro being in contact with another entity he is studying with, Forbidden Jutsu, and then ... I don't know. I don't know if you're agreeing or not, or I don't even know what the ... thing is. But anyway, we'll see. Okay, let's see. Rimzitzi, appreciate the comment anyway. Did anyone see the new Naruto movie? Effing epic. I actually have that queued up on my to watch later thing on YouTube. Believe it or not, it's out and around on YouTube. So I kind of scanned through it a little bit. I haven't seen the full thing. When I do, I will give a review. I find the movies, since they're not canon, to be, it actually did look good. Like I said, I just kind of skipped around the first third of it, and it actually did look pretty good. But because they're just fun. They're not. There's nothing canon in them. I wish it was. But anyway, okay, that's one vote for it being effing epic. All right, let's go. Appreciate the comment. Conley Bob 9. We do some reading here on Conley Bob 9. I always appreciate it, Conley Bob 9. The final scene with the Hokage standing on their own monument was epic. Yes, it was. It was interesting to see Toby Rama discuss Kagami Uchiha. I did think of him a few chapters ago, and how if Toby Rama was so entirely prejudiced against Uchiha as he seemed, he would have ordered Kagame to his death rather than sacrifice himself. After reading this chapter, I think that he would have even made Kagame the next Hokage had he been the first one to step up instead of Horizon. Possibly. Interesting. I like that. I'm going to say something kind of controversial. Uh-oh. But if Tobirama hadn't been as prejudiced as he was, he would easily have been the best of the Hokages. That is controversial. But then again, once you take away the prejudice, could be. Of all the Hokages, Tobirama is the most practical, realistic, the strongest in terms of leadership. He was never afraid to make tough decisions to protect the village. He found a strong middle ground between his brothers' naivete and Madara's skepticism. Pretty well written there. I like that. And it was his system that has maintained peace in the village to his day. I'm going to push back a little bit on that. I would have to agree with you, because it was him in the beginning, this part of it, because it was him in the beginning that wanted to set up Talief on democracy and not just, a dictatorship and all this. So what you're saying goes along with that. I still think that he was really the precursor to Danzo. I really believe, but then again, you're saying if you take away the prejudice. If you take away the prejudice, then maybe you don't have Danzo. I don't know. It was still kind of maybe too hard. I think it was maybe too hard a military line, but then again, he brought in the democracy. I don't know. That's kind of tough. All right, so I tried to push back on that a little bit. Not sure if I really did. Okay, and then looking at the other Hokages. While I love Hashirama, he was too naive. Yep, consensus there. He believed that once the village system was established, there would no longer be any major conflicts to deal with. Yeah, that was kind of naive. Tobirama knew better, and if he had not found that middle ground, Hashirama's dream of Konoha might not have lasted for long. Hiruzen just stated that his greatest failure was his failure to uphold the second's legacy. It says a lot about both the Hokage, and this is his greatest regret. And I thought Hiruzen really didn't want the Uchiha to be separate, but I guess he'd let Danzo and Root, he didn't fight him hard enough, I guess, because to get their way. Danzo was rotten. That guy was rotten to the freaking, a coward and rotten to the core. But anyway, reading on. Hiruzen rarely faced up to the darker side of his own village and instead allowed a man like Danzo to do the dirty work for him while he faced the other way. This, to me, is a failure. Because of this, the conflict was badly escalated. Oh, and if Tobirama had been Ocharu's Brett's mentor, I think he was seen through his facade and disposed of him long ago. Yeah, he wouldn't have done the Hiruzen thing, would he? He would have killed him. So yeah, second, it would have been quick. Second and third, maybe, Minato would have done better, but unfortunately he died too soon. The Tsunade, of course, sucks bad. Oh man, I love it. I love it. Read on, and then I want to make a couple more comments. Tobirama's two big mistakes were segregating the Uchiha and the Edo, and the Edo Tensei, because he worked so hard to prevent the rise of another Madara. It's ironic that it was his jutsu which allowed the actual Madara to return. I think that I like that. I think this is a sign from Kishimoto that Tobirama's ways were not the best. And I don't defend his mistakes, but if it had been prejudiced, I would have voted for him as the best Hokage easily. Still, I think he should be higher up people's lists than I'm sure he is for most. I still question. Like I say, and I don't think I'm phrasing what I'm saying as well as you've phrased what you've said here. I really appreciate what you are pushing back at everybody with the Tobirama thing. I've been pushing for a middle ground, and really this is the hypothetical if he didn't have the racism, which is kind of. I still think he's even with the democracy and everything. I still think that he's too hard line military style leadership. I think he is. And even I think in what you've said, that anything he would have seen as a threat, he would have just dealt with it. He wouldn't have done through the democracy or whatever. Okay. So I think it's not just the racism. I think he was still too hardline. Okay? But I love what you've done. It makes a lot of sense, and this is no fun if we all just parrot each other. And I love that you've stood up and actually challenged everybody with this. Well, changing the racism thing. But anyway, I'm way over. This is not 8 minutes. This is about 2 segments in one. But I'm absolutely loving this, and I really do appreciate Conley Bob 9. I appreciate everyone's efforts on this. This is awesome, giving us a lot to think about. Great job. And when everybody's ready, meet up in part 2.